Hi, I'm Hannah Jones and welcome to this week's MAST CASTS, the weekly online update video about what's been happening in the MAST community this week and things you should know about. In this week's edition, I chat to Professor Beth Scott from the University of Aberdeen about the SuperGen Ori Hub Early Career Researchers Fund that is going to be coming soon, and also about the research landscape tool that they have developed. We also talk about the report that has just been published from the workshop that happened last year between the Marine Renewable Energy Forum here within MASTS and Scott Mayer. So we talk about that, and you can find out more within the links that are below this video too. This week's MASTS webinar took a slightly different format to normal. We had 4 speakers, all speaking for about 10 minutes, and they were PhD students from the MASTS Grad School and the Super DTP programme. They were James Rimmer, Coralie Hunt, Liam Godwin, and Jack Sheehy, and their talks were all recorded, and the Q&A session that happened afterwards as well. So if this is a talk that you missed and you would like to check out what they spoke about, please look at the link that is below this video for their recorded session. Next week's speaker is Dr. Davina Derus from the University of Aberdeen. She is a new PI there, and her talk is titled, "What's a Healthy Dolphin? Toward New Ecological Relevant Health Markers." If this is a talk that interests you, please register using the usual registration link at the bottom of this screen, and you'll be able to look at what other talks we have coming up too. Our last webinar, I should say, is the 2nd of September, so please make sure that you register to get your marine fix before the annual science meeting that is happening in October. Again, lots more information to be coming out in the next coming weeks, so keep an eye on our social media streams for more information about that, and also check out the mailing list as well, where information is going to be coming out on there about how you can be a presenter or just even register to attend. On the 16th of September, CTAC UK branch is going to be having its Early Career Researchers and Student Conference. This is being organised by its Student Council and is using the hashtag CTAC UK, KISS standing for Keep It Simple Scientist. This is going to be happening on Twitter, so you're easily, if you're using the hashtag, it's easy to keep track of what is happening, but they do require that you register if you want to feature in the programme and also be a part of the Twitter conference. So the deadline for that is the end of July, and the links for that are below this video. They encourage you to be creative with any cartoons, any ways to demonstrate your work in a really nice, easy manner, and a lot more information about how to do that effectively on Twitter is available in the below links as well from them about the conference. So please check it out if you're interested. You can just follow it on Twitter as well, just by using the hashtag on the 16th of September. And now for my chat with Professor Beth Scott. Beth is based at the University of Aberdeen, but is also a co-director of the SuperGen Offshore Renewable Energy Hub. And in our conversation, she explains what the hub does and also about the upcoming Early Career Researchers funding opportunity.
Yeah, SuperGen ORE stands for Offshore Renewable Energy, and it's a combination of the wind, wave, and tide. It puts all 3 of those together, and it's very much it's an EPSRC funded program along with all the other SuperGen programs that are currently going. It's a 4-year program worth about £9 million, and it's got 10 a director, Deborah Greaves, and then 9 other co-directors right across the UK. It's mainly academic engineers, but it is considered a whole systems program. So that's why I'm involved. I'm the one ecologist that's in there to help out. And whole systems means a lot of things. And it's very much looking at the future. What does the industry need in the future? So that the wind involved is very much a floating wind that we're looking at. And we're looking at very large scale. You know, we're talking tens and tens of gigawatt arrays that we're thinking about in the future. We have the privilege of giving out money, and so I was just going to say we've just finished dealing with our second round of Flexi funds, which people will hear about very soon. And we have also this thing called the research landscape tool, and we'd very much like everybody in the community to go in and have a look. This was created because when the project was first being put together, lots and lots of workshops with industry and academia, and we summed it down to 8 big themes of research. And this landscape tool was built such that it's sort of the, call it the baseline of what's going on here, but we know there's lots that we possibly don't have our fingers on about what's going on across the UK. So please go and visit it. Look at the areas you're interested in, and please add to it. That's the whole idea. And then I'm going to mention more than the new funding that's coming up is for early career.
Yeah, so for all the early career individuals who are involved in offshore renewable energy, last year you had your first round of grants that were applicable for early career researchers, and we're very pleased to announce that there is a second round for this year.
So it's just about to be announced. This is a little bit of a precursor. So hopefully by the end of July, but maybe early August, the next round will be announced, and then we'll give you obviously some weeks to put in applications. But it's actually quite a quick turnaround. Once we have the final date for the applications, we will try to turn this around in about 3 weeks and get stuff back to people about who's been successful. It's for an ECR. How we define an ECR is any academic staff that are in their first 3 years, or anybody who's a PDRA. So that's what we're calling early. And the idea is it can be quite separate from what you're doing right now. It's all about early career development. So it's really looking at the individual, and it can be quite, off-piste of what you're doing right now. And so this £5,000 is the maximum. Note, it's only direct costs. It doesn't have indirect costs. That people have to, that's a detail that is actually important. And then it has to be in the area, of course, of offshore renewables. We'll give you about 3 months to start, but it shouldn't be much longer than a 9-month proposal that it covers. You can do it jointly with another person. 2 ECRs can get together, and we really encourage this multidisciplinary approaches. That's what the whole systems is all about. And if you want to know more, then there'll be links there. That the 2 co-directors who are dealing with this directly are both from the University of Oxford, and that's Richard Wilden and Brian Bryan, and they can be contacted directly.
That sounds great, and a great opportunity for any of our early career researchers within MASTS. And there's a whole list of those successful applicants that came from last year. So any inspiration, and it's nice to know that you're also encouraging collaboration, that the grant can be split between 2 individuals, for instance, as well. It's
not split. You can have 2 individuals, and it can be additive. So you can have double the money.
Yeah. Excellent. Good correction. That's nice to know.
For those items that Beth mentioned, please check out the links that are below this video, and also follow them on Twitter as well to stay up to date and know when that early career research funding becomes available. We will be releasing that on our mailing lists too, so keep an eye on your inbox as well. Beth used to be the Marine Renewable Energy Forum leader, and last year at the MASTS annual science meeting, there was a joint workshop between that forum and ScotMer, where they have now published a report, and I asked Beth to explain a bit more about what that report covers.
Exactly. So the idea there was we would try to look across receptors. So ScotMer has these group of receptors, and they've done a fantastic job at looking at all of the priorities of science that should be done, the questions, the gaps, the things we need to be doing. But this was an attempt to get all of those people interested in that, to look across those receptors and see where we could find commonality and figure out some of the key things that we should be working on across those sectors. And so the report, we tried to make it a 2-page. It's ended up, I think, a 6-page report, but it's pretty close. There was just so much excellent discussion. So we've ended up with a list of 5 key ecological pathways that we think to focus on. And there was a lot of agreement in the group about that. So I definitely recommend it. It's been linked online now, and anybody can download it and have a nice look at that. And hopefully this will help the whole group start to think about, when we move to looking at this in an ecosystem way, that we can start to think about, as we get to these very, very large renewable developments, they will start affecting whole ecosystems. And this was just sort of a first attempt to get these groups thinking about what are the commonalities.
If you would like to check out that report, please look at the link that is below this video. And that is everything for this week. So stay safe and have a great weekend.